I'm not going to lie. It is definitely feeling like we're in the 2011 movie Contagion, right? We're not fully there yet. Gwyneth Paltrow hasn't died, so we're not full on Contagion mode. But when it comes to the entertainment industry, man, things are not looking good. Not one bit. And it actually is frightening as a person who likes to cover the entertainment world, who wants to cover entertainment media, who likes the industry, who's worked in the industry. Actually, right now, my biggest fear is not about movies being impacted necessarily, or actors not getting the next big paycheck. My fear, my concern is actually about the theater employee, the people who are the boots on the ground, who make sure that you get to watch the entertainment you get to watch or you want to watch. And they're the ones that are going to be financially impacted by this as more and more movies delay. We just found out today that Fast and Furious 9 is being delayed a whole damn year. Paramount moved A Quiet Place 2 to an undetermined time. I mean, No Time to Die is still in November. Black Widow is most likely going to also be moved. And this is going to impact the summer movie box office season, which is going to, again, negatively and detrimentally impact young people who work in the industry, the people who use it as a part-time summer job, those who use it to pay their bills. And they're going to be very severely impacted. And this is going to last for a while, not necessarily because the movies themselves are going to be delayed, but what happens when they start delaying productions? What happens when they start delaying, shutting down productions? We know Falcon and the Winter Soldier shut down production right now in Prague because of the virus. We know that The Witcher Season 2 is filming right now in Prague, and that might be shut down. There's rumors about that being shut down. There's a lot of other programs that are being shut down, a lot of other things that are happening right now, and it is frightening. It is frightening because you don't know the uncertainty of it, right? We oftentimes look to entertainment as being our window of escape, right? It's where we like to go to get away from everything. And there's a reason why Contagion is as viral as it is right now, and people are resorting to mass piracy in order to get their hands on it because it's not available to stream on Netflix anymore. And the only place to purchase it legally online, at least digitally, I believe is through iTunes. So you're like, all right, man, like people are sailing the high seas as a way to get a hold of this stuff because people are scared. And when they're scared, they turn to entertainment. When they're scared, they turn to these things. You know, and unfortunately, it's just, oh my God, it's so crazy just where things are and what's going to be going on. And I'll be honest with you, when it comes to, my job here on YouTube, which is covering entertainment media, that is going to be very negatively impacted because there is a massive ripple effect that's going to go on. The massive ripple effect that's going to be advertisers not pumping dollars into YouTube in order to promote the new upcoming movies, especially as we get closer to the big blockbuster season. That's going to go down. And then there's going to be slowdowns on productions or closures of productions, which means that there is no new information coming out. And also YouTube right now makes it almost impossible to profit. And I don't want to say profit necessarily, but to monetize videos discussing the current situation. And they've said yesterday, well, in the coming weeks, we're going to be fixing this. In the coming weeks, we're going to be changing this. In the coming weeks, things are going to be different. That's what they've been saying. They said that yesterday. It's like, why not just remove those triggers from the algorithm? It's not that hard. It's literally lines of code. Just, deleted sort of thing. But that's where we are. So I don't know what's going to happen, not just with me, but with like a lot of other people. I mean, what are we going to talk about? What's going to go on? This does have a massive, massive impact. And I am talking about this from like my own personal situation. I'm very curious about it. I mean, there are things I'd love to dive into more of that are more deep dives or more informational videos. And oftentimes I don't do that because the current news is so interesting. And now that could change, but that still does upend a lot of, not just me, but like a lot of other people's earnings on the platform because we rely on those ad dollars in order to keep bringing you daily content, the content you guys enjoy. And so, you're going to see a lot of people really feeling the hit from this. And they are probably going to be talking more about their Patreons and channel memberships and whatnot. And honest to God, I have both. If you'd like to support the channel, that is a way to do it. I mean, it's not that I need a lot, but there's bills, right? So there's that. It's hard to talk about, but it's true. It's very true. And it's wild to think about. It's just crazy to think about. I mean, and the sad truth of it is, guys, this is the reality of being in this world, right? A lot of it is based upon uncertainty. A lot of it is based upon speculation. A lot of it is based upon, on a contract or project by project basis, right? So when I was living in LA, I would get work, occasionally working on projects. But that was always, project by project. It'd be 2 days here, 5 days there, 1 day here, a couple hours there. It just varies time and time and time again. And it really just depends on the type of job. Like I did a job that was supposed to be 2 days, 5 hours each day, $100 total, which is low rates. And then it turned into 28 hours over 2 days, still only made that $100 for those 2 days. And then I worked for Marianne Williamson for like 20 minutes, and I shot a little promo video for her, and I made $100 off of that. It just varies. It just really varies on the type of work that you do. So it gets a little bit crazy out there. So yeah, I don't know. But I'm concerned. I'm concerned about not only my, future and my financial situation, and how it's going to impact me, but not only me, but I'm concerned about like my friends who do this as a full-time job, who loves movies as much as I do, as much as you do, and want to keep doing this and have decided to dedicate their lives. We're in an unprecedented situation that has no outcome that I can even determine. I was listening to Joe Biden talk today about his Corona plan, but even he's saying it's not going to be months and months and months until we figure out more. Trump is, he is saying some stuff now, and I appreciate that. I appreciate his address from last night, and I'm not even a Trump supporter. And I appreciate that he took a calm and measured approach to it, to try to address the nation, that they are trying to work on it. And so for that, I give him credit. I do. I absolutely give him credit. That made me feel a little bit safer last night, to be honest with you. And that's, not something that like I was really feeling coming out of our government. And I live in the state of Washington. I live just outside of Seattle, where there have been 22 deaths so far. So I am legitimately concerned about like my family who are, up there in years. My dad is in his 60s, and like this thing impacts people who are in their 60s. My stepmom's in her 60s, my mom's in her 60s. My grandfather's in a senior living facility, and he's in his late 80s. And it's like, I'm concerned, and not just for my family, but for everyone's families. And it does, again, we turn to entertainment, right? So I don't know, maybe we'll figure it out. This is more of just like me kind of talking stream of consciousness sort of thing about my concerns and my fears. And I'm sure many of you share the same thing out there. And the way we get through this ultimately is together. The way we get through this ultimately is to laugh and to talk about things we love, and to I don't really want to sit there and quote Rose Tico. I don't want to give Rose any kind of credit, but I mean, to an extent, when Rose is saying something along the lines of like, what you do is you fight for what you love, to paraphrase that line. It does kind of make a lot of sense. And I feel like maybe in this moment in time, we have to kind of fight for what we love. And what we love is to be entertained. And what we love is to be, to see great stories and to talk about these things from the perspective of enjoyment, right? And it's wild to think where things are and what's going to be happening. But this year, I mean, CinemaCon was canceled yesterday. Emerald City Comic Con was canceled the other day. Comic Con apparently is still all steam ahead. I expect that to change actually here in the next month. Yeah, E3 2020 was canceled. I'm pretty sure VidCon is going to be the same thing. And once Disneyland gets hit, it's going to be a big deal. So, in the meantime, I'm going to be trying to work on, content like live streams talking about movies. Like I did the Podio commentary for Demolition Man. I'm working on another one for this weekend to talk about another movie yet. I still haven't fully figured out which one I want to talk about. And I want to do more to like engage with you guys on a fun level, to talk about things, to geek out on things. Cause I think that will go so much further than just like warrantless panicking over the littlest thing, And I know I might come across as a bit panicked in this video. And I'm not going to lie. I have 2 children. I have a 2-year-old that I was hanging out with this morning, and I'm watching, you know, cartoons with her, and we're playing around and whatever. And, you know, and she's laughing and having a good time. And as a parent, I was just like deathly afraid. I know this thing doesn't impact kids very well, but it's like, what, you know, I don't want her growing up and like not knowing her grandparents, because I don't want her to not have that experience. I don't want to get sick. You know, I mean, I'm almost 38. I turned 38 like in a week and a half. And so it's like, you know, it's like, age where it could start impacting you depending on your health. My health is fine, but still it's one of those things. And so, yeah, my instinct is to like turn to video games and movies for comfort, you know, and then how do I spread that comfort? How do I take that comfort and spread that to other people so we can help get through this together? And that is where my mindset is at. It's not fighting people over dumb ideological nonsense. It really is at this point wanting to bring everyone together in that particular regard. And I don't know if it's possible. I hope it's possible. I hope it's a thing we can do. I mean, you know, it's just, it's scary. I'm not going to lie. It's a bit scary because you don't really think about it until it's here. You know, and the fact that all those people have passed away, and more people are getting it and it's spreading. Tom Hanks. I mean, dude, you take out, if Tom Hanks goes, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be full on panic mode. And so, you know, it's crazy, man. Anyway, I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts. Like, really, honestly, I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions about all this. Is this going to stop you from going to the movies? Is this going to stop you from going outside? Are you worried about the future of Hollywood? Do you think that this is just going to end up like really kind of bolstering Netflix and streaming services? I mean, what are your thoughts and your opinions on all of this stuff? Right? I'm just one guy who's just, you know, living my life and trying to make sense of it all. And I'm not going to lie, I don't have all the answers. I wish I did. And that's frightening, you know, and I think about my future. I think about, you know, being able to pay my bills and make sure my kids have food. And that's the bigger one, that my kids have food. And that's got me a little bit worried right now too, just because of everything, right? Like, you know, I went to Walmart to get baby food the other day, and like they got baby food locked behind a counter, right? And they're selling out of it real quick. And it's because people are stealing it. And it's like, holy crap, you know what I mean? It's like, what the hell's going on? It's wild to think about. It's scary to think about. And so I'm just going to go dive into things I like. I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to ostrich myself. But there's gotta be, I don't know. There's gotta be a way to get through this together, right? I think that's the only way we're going to be able to do it. Anyway, man, yeah, this kind of went off the rails. I wanted it to be more just about Hollywood being impacted, but then I realized how much it impacts my own existence. And that's kind of a little bit of that existential dread and a little bit of that fear. And I don't have any problem being vulnerable with my emotions and how I feel. I think more people should. You know, there will be people out there that will try to argue that you shouldn't because it shows weakness and weakness is bad. But the truth of the matter is, I mean, why not share the emotions that you know so many other people are feeling and maybe not able to express, or they're not able to publicly express? That's my take on it. We have movies, we have each other, and I think that's what's going to help a lot of us get through. So anyway, look, whether we agree or disagree, if you guys watch this, if you guys watch the content, you have no idea how much you mean to me. You guys have literally saved my life from 2018. You have no idea how bad things got. And you guys really helped me pull through, mentally speaking. I love what I do. I know I'm an asshole sometimes, but I love what I do. I don't want to stop doing it. I care about the industry. I care about the people who work in the industry. I care about the people who watch the movies, because we're all in it because we want to be entertained and we want to do all these things. And anyway, I'm just a little bit nervous. So I ramble when I'm nervous, but I will talk to you guys all later. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.